What is the one thing that you'd want people to take away from this book?
Entrepreneurship is about constantly learning, and not thinking you've learned it all already. Our version of that in my first book was saying in permanent beta, like you are always in permanent beta from the startup of you. And I think that's true for entrepreneurs themselves and for their projects. And so if there's one thing that kind of goes through, like to some degree, all of the chapters in the book, and many of the podcast episodes, is that constantly be learning and always be seeking to learn what you're doing. And that's part of the reason why we did a book in addition to the podcast, because a book gives you a much more compacted, like a podcast, as you know, is this kind of linear thread, sometimes with these very engaging stories, a couple of key tactics or learnings and experiences. But as opposed to like, well, here's how these 7 different stories link together in this common theme. And here's how a book, like if there was 2 of us or 20 of us sitting around talking about it, we can read the book and we can say, oh, look, on page 30, I thought this was really interesting. And on page 40, I had this question. And on page 50, I have this challenge. And that gives you a different mode of learning. So I'd say it's that always be learning. Kind of for those fans of Glengarry Glen Ross, it's actually not always be closing, it's always be learning.
Hey Foundr fam, we hope that you loved that clip. If you did, you can click through right here to watch the full interview. You don't want to miss this one. See you there.